the Seahawks would have run the ball on the goal line instead of throwing an interception in the end zone. Rivers argues Brady would have had the exact same stat line, but they threw the ball, got picked off. Brady got another ring. We all remember that one. Shannon, does Rivers have a point?
To a certain extent, Skip, I don't believe, I do think Super Bowl wins carry too much weight because Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl, Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. Do we think they're better quarterbacks than Dan Marino, honestly? I don't think we do.
They have one.
But I'm saying,
okay.
But I look into regular season. Did you win in the regular season? Did you lead the league in touchdown passes? Did you lead the league in completion percentage? I think when you get to Tom Brady, Skip, I think his resume is so impressive, even if you say he only has 3 Super Bowl wins. But you look at, he's won almost 78% of his regular season games. He's a 3-time league MVP. He's led the league in touchdown passes, I think, 3 or 4 times, in passing yards 3 or 4 times. His resume is so complete, it's hard to find a way to knock him. So although I do not believe that the Super Bowl should be the, it's end-all, be-all, that's it. But I think as a body of work, because wouldn't we look at, check this out. Jim Kelly got Scott Norwood in field goal distance. He missed it. Tom Brady got Adam Vinatieri in field goal distance twice. He made it. Tom did his part. Jim did his part. One guy, kicker, did his part. The other guy didn't. As we've said before, you've covered this game too long, and I've played it a long time. It's the ultimate team game because sometimes it's just quarterback can play great, and you need your defense to make a play, or you need your field goal kicker to finish it off, and it doesn't get done. He has a point to a certain extent, but with Tom Brady's resume, with 14 Pro Bowlers, with 14 Pro Bowl seasons, with 3 MVPs, Skip, we did pick it, Tom.
Thank you.
And I can't.
Which is why I can't believe you're giving Philip Rivers even an ounce of credibility with anything that he said. That he has some point. Well, he has no point.
Well, maybe he upset because Brady beat the brakes off him all the time.
Like 3 times in the playoffs, and Brady's 5-0 all time against him. 3 times he ended his season. Yeah. Once in San Diego, you recall.
Yeah.
And
they got upset. Yeah. That's when they were 14-2.
They were.
And Marty ended up getting fired after him.
Tom Brady, and then Tom Brady did him in again in the AFC Championship game in Foxborough.
He was hurt.
And then last year, he just, I'm going to use your phrase, he beat the brakes off the Chargers in Foxborough.
He did.
So all Tom Brady has done is win 6 rings with 6 game-winning fourth-quarter drives. That's pretty hard to do, and that's pretty great. And by the way, he had another late drive that should have won the first Eli Super Bowl, and he made one little bit off-target throw that could have won a second Super Bowl against Eli. So we could go on, and he threw for a record 505 yards, playoff record in the loss to Nick Foles, who hung 40 on Belichick's defense without Malcolm Butler. You can't argue with this, and Philip Rivers had the audacity to say, it's like the old Michael Jordan debate, like it has no end to it. No. There's only one man on earth who thinks Michael Jordan isn't the GOAT, and I'm sitting across from him. No, there's only one. It's you. Everybody knows that GOAT Michael is the GOAT. And it's over. And it's over with Tom Brady. Because even look at the Seattle Super Bowl. Did he not deserve to win it? Again, Tom can't play defense.
Right.
And again, Malcolm Butler made arguably the greatest play in the history of
I think that's one of the points that Philip is trying to make, that so many other things, although the quarterback gets the credit, a lot of the time, so many other things go into it. Malcolm Butler making that play, Adam Vinatieri making that those 2
just for the record, in the Seattle Super Bowl, New England trailed 24-14 to start the fourth quarter.
Yes.
What did Tom Brady do? He goes 13 of 15 for 124 yards just in the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and brought them back into the lead.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
And he did have the game-winning drive on which he had 65 yards passing just on the game-winning touchdown drive. Okay? Well, that's just greatness, right?
Yeah, but Skip, I'm not, look, like I said, I just think what Philip was trying to get to is that we put all this weight in, like, okay, Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowls. But with Tom, because he has, even if you just take the Super Bowls out of it, Skip, his resume with 14 Pro Bowls, with 3 MVPs, and leading, and his win percentage, that in and of itself should get him in the conversation. Now, when you start saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls in 9 appearances, it's kind of hard, especially with Philip.
Dan Marino was the greatest thrower of the football I ever saw. but he got to one Super Bowl, faced Joe Montana, and got blown out.
Right.
And did not play well.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers had landed in Green Bay, they might have 10.
You can't bring
They
up
might
that
have
guy.
10, Skip.
Guys, we are moving on.
Rodgers?
10?
Stop.
Okay. Larry Bird, covered in tattoos. Let's just say he's not happy about it.
not
We'll
at
explain
all.
what we're talking about next.
Take your time, build a home, build a place where we all can belong.
Give extra, get extra with new Extra Refreshers gum.
Introducing a razor that works differently. The Gillette